All right, let me get the comments on and we will start here shortly. Let me get my camera organized so I can get centered in the picture. I think we might be good. Let me get in here and bring on the comments. Hopefully that brings them in. There we go. We are all set. All right, so once you come on board, let me know that you're here and we will get started. It's 3 minutes to 12, so we'll start probably about 2 minutes or so, 2 to 3 minutes after 12. So give people some time to come on board. In the meantime, I'm gonna sit here and wait for y'all. So what is that? And I need to clean up my mess. Do y'all have issues trying to keep your stamp area, your crafting area organized? I swear, it seems like I'm constantly cleaning glue off of the tables. Gosh, I swear I turn around and there's a pile of stuff that has to get done and I guess I need to set a schedule, like 1 day of cleaning a week. It doesn't sound like fun, but I guess it's something that has to be, something we have to do, right? Even though I don't want to do it. So, anyways, I've got a mess behind me. It's stuff, this is my clutter area, which I need to really clean up because y'all tend to see that every time I go live. Unless I shift my camera and then I got to sit differently. So, you'll either see this, it doesn't matter. So, anyways, I'll just wait for y'all to come on board and then we will start. Our open book card is what we'll be making. Hey, Karen Joe. I thought it was me. I'm like, I know other people have piles of stuff, but you know, you go through, I clean off the desk, I wipe all the glue down, get all the dust off, put everything back, you know, empty the trash cans, which I do anyways, and then it seems like, you know, and I file things, and then like 2 days later, I've got like all of this stuff right here needs to be put away, cards, just stuff. And it's like a never-ending battle. It's like, ugh. I wish I could just have somebody come in every day and clean up my mess, you know? Like my retired stuff I have that I put on my Etsy store, I still have paper I haven't loaded in. And I usually have a young lady, well, I shouldn't say she's young, but I have a lady in the Villages that used to help me. But by the time I type it all up for and everything, it's just better for me. It's easier for me to do it myself. So sometimes I'll set time aside to do that. And I just haven't done it. So anyways, things I got to do. Things I have to do. And then I need to start packing my cards for soldiers because that box is getting full. And what I need to do is when I make the cards is go ahead and stamp the back because I have to stamp them with my Stampin' Up stamp. Anyways, in my stamp, and I guess I should do that when I'm making them so that way I don't have to go back, but then I got to put them in clear folders and all that stuff. I'm great at cleaning others. Yeah, right. I know. It's just like, oh gosh, but anyways, it's okay. It's all right. You know, thank goodness it's not here in my house because that would really drive me crazy. Well, at least even when we were in the Villages, I had one of the bedrooms, I could just shut the door. But it wasn't quite as bad. It was much bigger, obviously, but considering the space that I'm using, I have a lot of stuff in here. So, and some of it, you know, I could probably get rid of that's under the table, but you know, you just never know. You might need that little storage box for something. So, anyways, so have y'all been up to doing anything fun in your neck of the woods? I got a Tic Tac in my mouth, so pardon me. I always try to eat one before we start. But, okay, it's 12:01. We'll give it a couple of more minutes, and let me put that off my screen. So we'll just give it a few more minutes, but I'll let people get on board. Oh, where are you going? Hope it's someplace fun. Oh, I need my craft mat. coming back Monday the 28th. Woo! Are you going someplace fun? We're going to Key West in middle of December for a week. So that should be fun. I always look forward to that because I like to go to shows down there and stuff. And anyways, we were just talking about, and I won't get into it on here, but because some people, whatever. But Illinois, oh, his 80th birthday. Oh, yeah, it's probably freezing up there at night because it's getting, oh, yeah, this is November. Oh, my gosh, girl, you should have went somewhere south. Y'all should have just told Dad to come down here for his birthday. But that's all right. You got to do what you got to do. Yeah, we just enjoy going down there. The place we're staying at has a pool, and I love to go to some of the drag shows. Probably shouldn't say that because some people don't agree with it, but I don't care. I just love those things. And so we'll probably do that and just do, walk around, go, from, I don't want to say bar hopping, but, just go from bar to bar listening to music. We enjoy doing that too. And then, of course, going down in the evenings, at the waterfront where they have all the street people, the people that do all the, what do you call them? Performers, street performers. So anyways, that'll be fun. We're going to go for a week. Riley's staying with the dogs, a new dog sitter who's here on the island. The guy that normally watches her, I figured you probably were because I think I just get the impression you are and I are probably very similar. And anyway, so Riley's going to stay with a new dog sitter. And because the guy that usually watches her, he wasn't sure with the holidays if he was going to be here or not. So, yeah, Mallory Square. That's it. So, who knows what else we'll do. Anyways. All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and get started. Welcome, everyone. It's 12:04. So, today is our Fundamental Friday. And I'm glad that y'all chose that name because it really is a great name. Thank you so much for doing that. Let me introduce myself. I'm Dawn Duvall. I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up, and I've been doing this craziness for about 12 years. And today, well, before I get there, if you're new to my channel, please make sure, and I know I say this every week, but we have new people on board. So if you're new and you're watching me on my YouTube channel, make sure that you subscribe and click the button to be notified each time I upload a video. And those that are watching on Facebook are part of my VIP group. And they don't need to do that because it's a private group. But anyways, thank you all for joining. Today, let me go over just two things I want to share, which is my little information part of this. Now, I'm going to flip the camera down. Now, we always, every month, I get a new tutorial bundle that I participate in. And for the month of November, we have 52 new projects that are designed by myself and 51 other demonstrators that are all across the country and other countries that we're in, so really all across the world. A lot of these are holiday related, so it gives you a lot of good inspiration and ideas for creating cards. You can copy them exactly like the way they are, or you can change them up. And you would get this free when you place a $50 order through my online store. And it takes about a day or so for me. Once I get notification, then I'll email you a link to a Google Drive, which will contain these items. And so $50, and you're going to get 52. So that's less than $1 for a tutorial. So I think that's pretty daggone good. And then one other thing, I just finished making a calendar. And I used to do a calendar class, but since I'm not doing it in person, I wanted to give you all the option to have two options of purchasing this. And this is a calendar that fits in a CD case. And I had ordered a bunch of these years ago. And I held the class in person. And what it is we take and decorate. So when you put your CD stand up, then you put the calendars in there and they stand like that. So you can actually see it. So if you work or you know somebody that works or uses a calendar all the time, this is something that's really, really nice to have. Now what the options are is I will decorate each of the pages for each month. And this one I'm going to change because I wrote that out. But this just kind of gives you an idea of what the cards, how I decorated them. So if you are interested in getting the ones that are already decorated with the CD case, then that's going to run $20, which does include shipping. Because this is very time consuming for me to, you know, color all this stuff. Now, if you just want the templates, which is just the cards that are already cut and the CD case, then those are $10. And if you want to purchase multiples, then let me know and I will give you a discount on that as well. So I thought this was, I've used these for years and the ladies loved making these, but since I'm not doing it in person, then I thought I would do it and decorate them on your behalf, or you can just decorate them yourself with the materials that you have at home. So keep that in mind. If you're looking for some quick, easy holiday gifts, then this might be something that you would want to take advantage of. So again, it's $20, includes shipping, and that's if I do all the decorating, and $10 if you want to just the base, the template, and the CD stand, and that would be $10. And if you want more than one, then obviously I'll give you a discount on however many that you want to purchase. So I think it's a great gift, especially for someone that uses them. The other way that you can also use this, now I know this is a little bit big, but you could always, the month of that person's birthday, you could send somebody that particular one, make it into a card, and then circle the date of their birthday. And you could, this could be like the front of their card, and then you design their birthday card accordingly. So, or anniversary or whatever it is that you're trying to do. So just wanted to throw that out there. So if that is something that you're interested in, just send me a message, and then I'll tell you how you can pay for it, and we'll go from there. All right, so today we are going to make an open book card. And it looks like it's really hard, but trust me, it's not really that difficult. So I'm going to walk you through the steps, and let me show you. I'm using the Berry Christmas. I just love this stamp set. And then when you open it, the nice thing is this can stand up and be on a display. So when you open it, see how it looks like it's an open book? See, can you see this is the book pages right here. These are the pages of the book. And then you can see this part here, and then it will stand. I'm trying to put it in the camera. It would stand like that. But that's how the book, open book card looks like. Isn't that cute? And then you can decorate it however you want. Now, when you go to mail this, this will fold flat. So you just have to push, you know, you're going to move this, you're going to manipulate it just enough to get it to close. And it lays flat. Now, you may have to pay a little bit extra postage. I'm not sure. I actually haven't weighed it. Let me see. Hang on a second. Let me turn on the scale, and I'll tell you what it is. I'll throw an envelope on there. Hang on a minute. But I think it might be a little bit thicker than what the post office requires as far as the thickness. But I thought it was a unique way to create a card. So this weighs 8.8 ounces. So it's not even an ounce. So the difference is it may be a little bit bulky, so you might have to put an extra stamp or something on it, okay? But I just love this card. So this is what we're going to make. It's very simple. You do need to have a paper trimmer, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to put that over there. Let me pull in my paper trimmer, because we definitely need this. All right, we're going to start with a base of 5.5 by 8.5, and I'm going to use basic white. So let me just make sure. I think this is cut, but let me just make sure, because I was just pulling out pieces. All right, so this is 5.5. Make sure it's 8.5, and yeah, that's at 8.5. Okay, so this is that's our card base. So we're just going to hold that off to the side for a second. And then we are going to, I'm reading my instructions, so just bear with me. And I think we score this at 4 1/4. Let me just make sure. Hang on the frame. That's yeah, I'm pretty sure we score it at 4 1/4. Let me just confirm that. I'll just measure it and we'll go ahead and score it. I'm pretty confident. Yeah, we're going to score it at 4 1/4. So this is the actual base. So let's go ahead and score this at 4 1/4. This is easy. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get that scored. Now we're going to put this off to the side, and then we're going to start on the page and the book part. Okay, so we're going to start out with a piece of cardstock. I'm using a Pretty Peacock, and this is going to be 8 by 5 inches. Let me make sure I've got it cut to 5 inches, and it should be 5 by 8, which it is, okay? Now, on this side, the long side, the 8.5 inch side, we're going to score it at 1/2 inch. So I'm going to move it over on my trimmer to 1/2 inch right here. Now, by doing this, I'm going to then flip it over so I don't get confused, okay? So we're going to score it at 1/2 inch. Now I'm going to turn it around because I want, obviously, we got to go forward. Then we're going to move it down to 4 inches. Okay, so we're going to score it at 4. And then we're going to score again at 7.5. All right, so we're going to score at 7.5. Okay, all right. Now we're going to take this and then we're going to turn it. And we're now going to cut, whoopsie. We're now going to cut, hang on a minute. Let me get in here so y'all can see. We're now going to cut from the edge between the 1/2 inch and the 7.5. So we're gonna line this up at 3/4 of an inch. So I'm gonna push this over to my 3/4 mark. Now we have our score line, right? So we want to go from that score line. So hopefully you have a paper trimmer with the markings on the side. So Stampin' Up! Provides little marks. They have these little lines right here that allows you to see where you are. I'm going to try to bring this in to allow you to see where you are on the platform right here. And that's what I'm going to use to do my gauging of how I want to cut. Okay, so again, we're going to line this up at 3/4 of an inch, and I'm going to make sure it's straight at top and bottom. So give me just a second. All right, so we got that there. Now I'm going to place this at the 1/2 inch mark. So I'm going to come up here right where the score line is, and I'm going to make, hang on a second. All right, so I'm going to push that down, and then I'm going to bring this down to the 7.5, which is going to be, I'm sorry, yes, 1/2 inch to 7.5. And the 7.5 is going to be where the next score line is, okay? So we're just going to cut from here all the way down to 7.5. I'm at 7, and then I'm going to slowly go forward until I get to my 1/2 mark. All right, and then we've got that cut. So you just want to go from score line to score line. All right, and then we're going to flip this around, and then we're going to cut this the same on the other side, okay? And turn and cut through on each edge. Okay, so this one we're going to do the same thing. So we're going to line this up at 3/4 of an inch. We're going to put this down at the 1/2 inch mark. Let me get it over here to the 1/2 inch, which is right about there. And then I'm going to pull this down to my 7.5. Make sure I take my time. All right. So that is the start of our pages, okay? So you can see how it's going to start looking, right? Okay, now the next thing we want to do is on the frame, which is this part right here. So we're going to push this down. So on the long side, we're going to score at 3 and 5 inches, and we're only going to go down to the cut line, okay? So we're going to line this up at 3 inches. And we're going to come down just to the where the cut line is. So that's 3. And then we're going to move this down to 5. And we're going to do the same thing here. And then I'm going to turn this over. Oh, wait a minute. We got to do a score. Let me do the score first. Oh, let me flip it so we don't get confused. All right, so we did that on the top. Now we're going to do the same thing on the bottom, right? So we're going to move it down to the 3 inch, and we're just going to score that top piece right there before the cut, and then move down to 5. Okay, and we're going to get that scored. All right, so now you can see I've got 3 score lines, whoopsie, right here. All right, now we're going to score, we got to do our book so it opens up, okay? So we're going to come in on the book, we're going to score at 1 1/4. So we're going to make, there's 1 inch, so I'm going to bring it over to 1 1/4. And we're only going to do it on the center piece, so we're not going to do it at the top or bottom, so only on the part in the center, okay? So this is going to be lined up at 1 1/4. Get it lined up. And then we're going to, hang on, let me lift up my trimmer, my scoring blade. And I'm going to just score it in between those 2 pages. I mean the 2 lines. And then you can look at it and see if you're close or not. And I can bring this down a little bit more. Okay, just make sure we don't go over it. And then I'm going to move it down to 6 3/4. So we've got 6 1/2, 6 3/4. So we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to line this up at where my cut is. And I'm going to do the 6 3/4. So we're going to do that right here. Hopefully. And if you go over a little bit, it's fine. If you go past your score, it's okay. All right, so we've got that done. All right, now, I think that's all we have to do. Yep. Okay, so let's move the paper trimmer out of the way. Now we're going to fold. So we've got our, this is the book, okay? Now we're going to fold this part is going to go down because this is going to be the book page that's going to hold it up. And then this piece right here is what we're going to glue down, okay? So we've got that. You see how it's going to start coming into play? All right, and then this one is going to be, this is the first score that we did. So that one's going to be a valley. So we want to fold that down. And we'll do the same thing on this one, right? So that's got to be a valley. And then this one is going to be, and when we get done with this, you'll see how it's going to work. So we're going to do that. I'm just pinching them for now, and then once I get them down, we'll put them down. And then this one is going to lay like that. And, oh, I didn't need to score. That's where I made it. You don't score it there. Okay, and then this one, again, we're going to fold it down because that's our book. And then this piece is going to be our part that we're going to glue, okay? And that's going to hold up something like that. So let me get these guys. Are supposed to pop up. This goes down. That's not supposed to be scored. All right, so this one goes down. That pops up. All right, see how it gives it that look of, and I didn't push this one down. So let's just do that. Let's go ahead and get these guys folded. So we're just going to fold these 2 pieces down and get them burnished really well. All right, and then that's how our book is going to look. And then this will get glued down right on this side on underneath part. All right, now I know I probably should have done white for y'all, but I wasn't thinking. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we can go ahead and decorate it now, which that's probably what I would recommend, because once you get it on there, it's going to be hard to push stuff down. So let's go ahead and take, we got to do our paper for the front of the card, and then we need to do our white. Let's do the white first, the inside, and then we'll come back and do the front of the card before we attach it. That way we've got everything done. All right, these, you need 2 basic whites that are going to be 2 3/8 by 3 1/4. So 2 3/8 by 2 1/4. Is that what I said? 2 3/8 by, no, 2 3/8, sorry, 3 1/4. 2 3/8 by 3 1/4. All right, and I'm going to use the Pretty Peacock. Oh, well, guess what? I got to bring the ink over here, don't I? I thought I had brought it. Hang on. Let me grab it. Go figure. I thought I had everything. All right, so I'm doing everything in just tone on tone. So I'm using the Berry Cute stamp set. So we're going to use the Christmas Together is Better Together on one side. We're going to use some of these small snowflakes, and then I'm going to stamp the big bear and then the baby bear on the inside, okay? So let's go ahead and get these placed to where, hopefully this is going to be straight. And then what you can do is you'll be able to write if you want. I'm going to put this right kind of centered. Let's do it right about like that. You can always put right on the back of the card the base itself. All right, so we have that. So let's go ahead and then we'll move over and we're going to stamp the bears. I love these little bears. I just think they're so daggone cute. You know, I just love these guys, except for that guy's not sticking. All right, so we're going to stamp. I'm going to put him up here first, him or her, whichever. And then I'm going to put the baby bear a little below him or her. Where's my baby? All right, here's the little baby. And I probably should have moved him over, but that's okay. I want to have the baby kind of like he's walking a little bit in front of him. So we'll put him right on the edge. Okay? All right, so we've got that. Let me just clean these real quick. And then I'm going to come back with some snowflakes. Whoopsie, hang on. And this is the small one because I didn't want to do too much. So we'll just put one here, just kind of decorate it just a little bit. And you can stamp off if it's too dark for you. So let's go ahead, let's do a little stamping off. We'll just do it on here. I didn't have a scrap, but that's okay. So we'll stamp one right there, and then we'll stamp off again just to give it a lighter shade. So see how it changes its color. And then we'll do one more right here between the bears. All right, pretty easy, nothing fancy on decorating the inside. All right, so we'll go ahead and add those to the inside of the card. And this is our book. I just thought this is a really unique card, and I just like, and it's easy. It looks hard, but it really isn't. And I think whoever gets this and realizes, oh my God, they can stand it up, and they'll set it up on the table, on the fireplace mantle, or wherever. All right, so we're just going to place that there, and then this one we'll go ahead and place on the other side. I'm not coloring these guys in. You can if you want to, but I just like them. They're going to be white bears, right? So we're going to place this in between the score lines, and we're going to leave a little, little room on each side. So we'll get that in there. Really, it's not going to take long to make this card. All right, so there's how it goes, right? Okay, now we've got to decorate the front of the card. And what I'm going to do, where's my white piece? Hang on a minute. Hang on. Oh, here it is. All right, so this is scored. I'm going to move this off to the side. This is scored at 4 1/4, just like we do our normal card bases. So let's go ahead and get this folded and burnish the fold line. All right. And then I'm going to cut a piece, I think I already did, a peacock of 4 by 5 1/4. So let's go ahead and add this. Actually, let me hold off. I'm going to cut my paper first. We're going to use this paper, and this is from the Walk in the Forest, if I'm not mistaken, designer paper. Now we want this to be 5, since this is 4 by 5 1/4, then we want this to be 3 3/4 by 5, okay? So we want 3 3/4 to go this way, because our card is going to be horizontal. And then we want this part to be 5 inches. So I'm going to cut across at 3 3/4. So we're going to place that right here at 3 3/4. And that's going to give us about 1/8 of an edge. So we'll cut that there. This set piece is extra. And then I'm going to turn this. And I can decide how if I want that. But I'm just going to go ahead and trim off the bottom and cut this down. Actually, I could trim that a little bit if I wanted. Actually, let's see if we did that. Let's cut a little bit because this is a little bit long. I'm going to cut down to this tip of this tree here, just to get rid of most of that tree, which wasn't much, but anyways. All right, and then we're going to move this down to 5 inches. So we're just going to cut this 3 3/4 by 5, okay? And we're going to keep that because, oh, well, no, we don't, because we're not going to decorate. I'm thinking I'm going to decorate. All right, so now we've got this, and we're going to glue this down. See how easy? I mean, it really is a quick and easy card. And you can make this for birthdays, anniversaries, thinking of you, Christmas, obviously. But, I think a birthday would be nice, too, because it would be able, somebody could put it up and set it on their desk or whatever. All right, so now we're going to place this. Okay, so now that I've got this done, yeah, let's go ahead and add this. That way we've got everything that's nice and flat, and then we'll decorate the front of this after we add the inside of the book, because we've got to do that, okay? So I'm going to place this here and get that on. Okay, all right, now we're going to open this up, and now we have our book. So we're going to close this, right? So we're going to make sure we got this is going to be closed, and then we're going to fold this down where we had all of our, see how we fold it down, and I'm going to lay it right up against, almost touching the score line. And then you just want to try to eyeball where it's going to be even. But the one thing you want to do is we don't want to have this go this far to the edge. I would bring it in about 1/2 inch, because otherwise it's going to be this one, see how this one's a little bit, well, this one's not so bad. I did one that it's a little bit tight, so it doesn't give you quite as much as that book effect. So I'm going to put this down. Now, the only place that I'm going to adhere is going to be on this section right here. Up, don't go on this line here. So you're going to do it here, then you'll do here at the top, and then here. And then what I'm going to do when I get ready to close it, I'm going to bring this back a little bit so that it doesn't get glued, and I'll probably flip it over, if that makes sense, okay? So let's go ahead and add some adhesive. I'm going to use our seal, so I'm going to go ahead and put seal on here. So this will hold that down, and then when we get here, we want to put some right here. I've got it going off the edge a little bit, so give me a minute so I can get it in. All right, and then we want to come down on this side as well. I love this seal. Takes it off and it cuts it off in like little tiny pieces. All right, so I'm going to move this just a little bit because I don't want this to be all the way down. So I'm going to lift up, and it's hard. It's really hard for me to show you, but actually what I'll do is bring it down a little bit because I can adjust it. So I'm going to bring this down on just to get the one side glued down. I'm going to bring it down a little bit past the score line just until I can get this glued down on this side. So if I do that, it should, no, I'm not, hang on a minute, let me figure out, let me see how I should do this. Oh, I just want to make sure I get it so it's not, all right, I think we're going to have to do it like this. I'm going to have to bring it down just a tad to close it. And I'm going to hopefully push these down. And I'm going to pull this up before I tack it all the way down. Then I'm going to move it a little bit to give me a little bit more room. And this is a little cumbersome part, but I think it's just easier to do this so you've got a little bit more room for the book. And let me just, that's why the seal is good, but it's not good because once it goes down, it's hard to lift it. So I'm going to place this right about there. I think we can go. I think that'll be good. So let's go ahead and place that down. Okay. All right, so we've got that part down. Now, when we go to open it, see how it gives us that book effect right here? Now, it could have gone back a little bit further, but that's all right. We're going to work with it. So now we'll go ahead and lay this down here. And we're going to go ahead and put our adhesive here and here. So the one thing we just have to be careful when we're placing the piece, we want to make sure we get a little bit more than about 1/2 inch from the edge here. And then if you have to kind of manipulate it some, then that's what you do. So we can just open it and push it down a little bit before it sticks itself, and I think like right about there would probably work. And we'll just lay it like that and then just glue all this down. That'll probably be the easier way. All right, and then this is already centered, and then we close it up, and when we get ready to mail it, it flattens down. We're just going to manipulate this to get it to move, okay? So once we get it positioned to move, then it will flatten down, and then we can close the card, and then it's all set. And then there you go. There, see how it gives it that page effect, and then these pop up. Can you see that? All right, so now we'll go ahead and move it again to get it to close, and then we're going to go ahead and decorate it with our other bear and our sentiment. So let me grab a piece of cardstock so we can stamp our bear. And we're going to use this, again, we're going to do him in peacock. I hope closing that made sense. It might make sense to put your glue on it, and then rather than try to fold it, just make sure you move this down to at least 3/4 to 1/2 inch, not 3/4, 3/8 to 1/2 inch, just so you want to make sure you get this book effect. Because if you don't, then it doesn't look like these are the pages, okay? So that's what my recommendation would be. All right, we're going to stamp this little guy. Now I have to fussy cut him out because he doesn't fit on the punch. And then we are going to stamp, we're going to give him a little scarf because it's so cold out there. So I'm going to flip him around just because it's easier for me on the right hand side. And then I just kind of line up. It goes, this scarf fits right where his neck bends, and it should go side to side. So let's make sure I've got that right. And we're going to stamp that right there. There we go. That looks like I know what I'm doing, doesn't it? Okay. All right, so we're going to fussy. Oh, wait, let me go ahead and do my sentiment. But now we're going to do the Merry Christmas. And I'm going to, because my sentiment is my thing here is longer than my hang on a second. I'm trying to look at where my things are. I'm trying to get my, there we go. I'm trying to get my dots. Since my sentiment is all one piece and my banner isn't, I'm going to try to do it like I did here. I'm going to cut it. I'm going to only ink up the first word, clean it, and then ink up the second word, and hopefully I can get it on here. And these are the photopolymer, so you can see through them. So I can easily, because there's a nice space there, I can easily mark this with my ink. And I'm going to stamp that right here towards the top. I'm going to have to stand up so I can see, because I got to get it right to the edge. So I think that will work like that. All right, and then we're going to clean this, and make sure you clean it really good and stamp off, because you don't want any ink that may transfer onto your sentiment. And then the next thing, because I can see through it again, I'm going to ink up the Christmas word. I got to make sure I get all the circle there. All right, so we've got that inked up. And then I'm going to place this kind of like it's, just move it over just a tad. And then we're going to push that down. And there we go. So there's another way that you can take larger stamps and make them work for whatever you're trying to do for your sentiment. All right, so we've got that done. So let me go ahead and get my paper snips, and we will cut this little bear out. And it's really not that hard, because he doesn't have too many places to move other than around his toes, you know, his feet, paws. So anyways, but I really do like this card. I'm going to have to make some more, because I just think it's a lovely, it's a nice card, and it really isn't that hard. So really, well, I don't know if a beginner could do this. I guess they probably could. It might be a little bit of a struggle if they're just starting out, because they're still learning how to fold and all that. But once you've got somebody that knows how to make cards, I think it will be pretty easy. Ouch. Oh, I just tried to cut off his butt. Hang on, should have cut this piece off. Let me just trim this. I got too busy talking. And let me just trim this little piece off right here, because I got it down where it's pointed, and we don't want him to have a pointed rear end. Okay, there we go. That looks good. Okay, so we're going to put both of these on dimensionals. So let's pop these up, and then we'll be almost done with our card. Add a couple of blings to it. So if y'all make one of these cards, make sure you share in the group, or if you're on YouTube, you can post it on my Facebook page or whatever. Or you can join the VIP group if you're not already a member. I know, don't you love this little bear? I just think he's the cutest. All right, so we're going to close our book again. So let me get my pages so they'll fold down. And I'm going to put him right here. I hate to cover up a tree, but we're going to have him sitting down here. All right, so there he goes. And then we're going to put the sentiment at the top. And then we'll put a couple little, some embellishments on it. And I'll probably move this more towards the center. So let's do that. All right, and then we've got some of the adhesive back glitter sequins. And we'll just place a couple of these on the card. And they come in like looks like a granny apple, a blue, and then a glittery, like a white or clear. So I'm just going to put one right here. And then, I don't know if we need any more, but we probably should put a couple, right? Because they say you should do it in threes. So I'm just going to do some white ones. I might I'll just cover that little snowflake right there. And I'll just do another clear one. I don't want to overdo it. And let's put one. We got one there, one there. Let's just put one right over. Oh, let's do it right here by his head. We'll get him glued down there. All right. So there's that. Put that back in here. All right. So there is our book card. It's pretty easy once you get the hang of it. So there's our card, and you can see it's a little bit bulk. So you may have to add a little bit of postage, but it shouldn't be a whole lot. And then open it up, and then there is your book card. Those are the pages, and they can set it up. And then you can write your message on the back, especially if you do a white card base, and you've got plenty of room to write your message. Or if you don't like write messages, then just sign your name. All right, there you go. So that is the open book card. I hope you all have enjoyed this. It's a short video. It's only took about 30 minutes, but I wanted to make sure that you saw this because I thought it would be a great option for the holidays. And thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. And I'll see you back on Tuesday. I will be here Tuesday night. My apologies for last week. I forgot we had a concert to go to. So anyways, all right, everybody. Thank you again for watching. I'm going to put this one here and then open it up like that. So there you go. There is our open book card. All right, have a great day. If I can help you with anything, please reach out. If you're interested in one of the calendars, just send me a message on which one you would like, if you want it decorated or not, and then I will send you the information to pay for it. All right, everybody, thanks again for watching, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Have fun.